Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Ratchet and Clank Going Commando for the Sony PlayStation 2. In the last video, we did some things. I know we went here to Joba to do the Lancer Challenge, and I believe we also did some other things as well. Yeah, I know we busted up the Megacore store. That was a thing that we did. Yeah, I didn't get to do a whole lot of things last time, but here we'll be heading to Grelbin, where we need to find Angela before it is basically too late. And before I do that, I do want to use the box breaker to once again break everything around here and get a whole bunch of bolts, because every little bit is still going to help. So, let us go ahead and enter the ship and head on down to Grelbin, because we're going to need to do that. And in Grelbin, we have 3 platinum bolts and 1 skill point. And not really much else to say or do. All I can really say is we need to get going if we want to do anything around here. And this is pretty much a planet of ice and snow. Great. On the plus side, we're getting a bunch of bolts just right here. So there is that. Now if we go down here, down this ramp, we will enter the ice fields. However, we can enter the factory.
You need the Hypnomatic here. Once you've found all of its parts, you'll have to go to another planet to have it assembled.
Only to find out that unless you have the Hypnomatic assembled, you can't do anything there. Great. So, all we can really do now is just go through here again. And this time we're going to have to go down the ramp here again. There could be anything in here. We're now in a cold desert instead of a hot one. And I'm going to have to bust out the heavy bouncer if I want to do anything. Also, there is a cooler, fishing rod, some sort of fireplace, and one of those deck chairs. And this guy.
Oh, man. It won't budge.
Violence is not the answer.
Can you move this rock, sir?
I am able.
And?
Patience, young one. For the rock to move, the forces of the universe must align.
So, can we make these forces align a little faster?
Ah, yes. The holistic resonance of Moonstones may yet guide these wayward forces.
I found this guy more annoying in Tabora. And now I'm finding him even more annoying here. So we're going to have to go into the wilderness here and bust out some Moonstones if we are to get that cave opened. Of course, when we do this, we're going to have to deal with these little creatures here. And more of them are going to pop up as we go through this cold desert and find more Moonstones. These snow creatures take a huge beating, and they can also be pretty numerous. Just when you think you've gotten rid of them all, there's going to be even more. Also, these little craters will have water in them, and if you jump into the water, it is instant death. You will freeze to death in the water, and you will be sent back to the ship. And unfortunately for you, everything here that you have to fight will respawn. And it's really disheartening, especially when you've made a ton of progress in this desert and you died because one of these things just hit you from behind, which is no fun for anyone. At least the mega turret makes it easier to deal with a lot of these enemies as you go through this area, because the mega turret will do a ton of damage. And of course there's also the Killanoid. The Killanoid can also be a really big help when you're going through here, because even when you're running away, they'll still shoot down the enemies, like so. And then you can lead them into the mega turrets, where they won't really mess with you for much longer. Also, watch out for big hideouts like this one, because, yeah, there's these dragon-like enemies that can shoot a deadly laser out of their mouths, and if those lasers hit you, they do a ton of damage. The heavy bouncer can do a lot of damage, as can the... Wow, I thought I died there. As can the mega turret and the heavy bouncer. Even though I've said heavy bouncer twice, what am I doing here? Go ahead and take that thing out, please. There we go. And taking one of these things out does give you not only some bolts, but also a moonstone. These little crystals we're busting out of here are moonstones. And we need to get 9 if we want to move the rock. Now, finding the enemies here is the most annoying thing, because they will show up, really. One, the camera will not play nice with you. 2, they will show up in droves. And 3, they will also show up once you've gotten yourself a moonstone. Thankfully, once you get a moonstone and come back to a place, once you've pretty much died or something, it makes it a lot easier to, well, defeat all the enemies here, because, well, now that the moonstone's gone, they'll all come back. But when you come to these areas for the first time and you get the moonstone, you're going to be very easily surrounded, and it's not a lot of fun. And the camera, not the best when it comes to places like this. It just isn't. So it looks like we're going to have to do quite a bit if we want to save Angela, wherever it is that she is. And that also means getting a whole bunch of ammo and also getting a whole bunch of bolts. Do I have the Kilo Droid? Okay, I do have the Kilo Droid refill. Also, it helps to look at your map, because you never know when you might need to look at your map. Great. I'm going to have to set up the Mega Turret Glove. Are you going to shoot this thing or no? I guess you won't. Oh, now you will. Well, I guess only the first one will. Apparently I have to be a lot closer than I actually was just to shoot these things, shoot this dragon down. Now as soon as I get this Moonstone, yep. They all started coming. Okay. And if any more start popping up. Okay, I guess there's just the one. Alright. Right when I busted that out too. Great. Also, you have to be like a couple feet away from these things for these things to even attack you with their melee attack. Which is the most annoying thing in the world. And unless you're used to fighting these things, you may not even know how this attack even works. And I'm going to have to bust out the Heavy Bouncer, won't I? Come on. Collect. Collect and do things, please. There we go. Now, thankfully, you can get quite a bit of experience from this place. And that can be enough to get into net you a good amount of health. Good amount of health increases. And if you know what you're doing, you can easily attack everybody here. You can just tear everyone up. There we go. Got some more of this. Might as well let the Mega Turrets do their thing. And the Kilodroids too. Those things can also help. And I know more are going to pop up. You called it. You really got to know when to just long jump your way away from everybody here just so you don't get yourself absolutely rinsed. Because if you're low on any of the cool weapons, you're going to have a really bad time. And I mean a bad time. And they're a-firing. Though something tells me I should just as easily just go back to the ship. Now, thankfully, if you go far enough away from these enemies, they will eventually just give up and then they'll just walk away. If you go back to the areas where they usually prowl, though, they will come after you again. So there is that. So just be very mindful and be very careful of what you're doing as you go through these areas, and you should be okay. Also, knowing what weapons to use to take care of enemies. Really useful. Just pay attention to where you're going and where everything is, and you shouldn't have that too hard a time. Are my guns still there? Well, I guess they are. I mean, the Kilodroids can take care of these enemies, but still a lot of shots, and you still need to give yourself some distance. Also, I want to keep exploring, so that way I know that I've gotten all the things around here. That way. Oh dear. That's the last thing I wanted to have happen. Get away from me. Alright. These things are doing their thing now. All these enemies are just popping up. I'm gonna let the heavy weaponry just do their thing. And that should do it, though. There may be the odd one out or two. Yeah, definitely don't want to be near any of these enemies for too long. Alright. That should be the worst of it over there. Of course, there's also this. So, I should probably bust that out. And then get the Moonstone, so everything can just jump out of here and try to kill me. And that's the last thing I wanted to have happen, which was getting myself blown up there. There will still be a lot of these guys popping up. And there can be a whole lot of them. There's another Moonstone there, but wow. I believe that's the last one. Let's yeah. And there are plenty more where that came from. And hopefully there won't be any more. I was mistaken. There were more. And I am now out of Kilodroids, but I can now let the Megaturrets take care of these things. And I am so low on health, it's not even funny. And there are more guys over here. I know I shouldn't be doing this without Kilodroids, but game's not leaving me much of a choice here. And I guess that's the end of it. Where have I been? Just about everywhere. There should be... Wow, I almost jinxed it right there. There are 14 Moonstones in this particular area, which is as far as we can go for now. And it's a good thing I did all that, because that gave me a lot of experience. So now that we have more than 9 Moonstones, let's go ahead and meet our friend over here so we can move that rock.
Yes. Your arrival with the Moonstones is most fortuitous, for it is in this very moment that I am able to move the rock.
Gee, what a coincidence.
Thank you, sir. That was most helpful.
Your gratitude is comforting, child. I have also found a piece of something called a Hypnomatic. you may have it in exchange for more Moonstones.
Wait, I thought you had no need for material possessions.
Please, do not lay your burdens upon me now. I am weary from lifting the rock, and I must rest.
Like I said, I wasn't exactly fond of this guy on the other desert planet, Tabora, and not exactly fond of him here. But we do need to get more Moonstones. 11 more to be precise, in order to get another part of the Hypnomatic. Then we have to go back, get that other Hypnomatic part, which, wherever it is, get the thing set up on Damicel, and then we can come back here and actually use it. That reminds me, yeah, we have one of the 3 parts, and we got that on Damicel, so there's another one that we need. So, the one here is 2, and the third one's going to be someplace else. Yeah. We definitely have our work cut out for us. And we will eventually go into that cave. And we will do so in the next video. So, join me next time where we explore more of planet Grelbin. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!